Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today I want to talk about some reprints for Innistrad Remastered, or imprints that could have been, should have been, in my opinion. I also gathered some of these from the comment section of my other videos about Innistrad Remaster spoilers, reprints we got, and just, I did a lot of content around Innistrad Remastered. I love Innistrad, but I don't like Innistrad Remastered. I know it sounds weird. I don't like the time of year it was released. It just doesn't make sense or feel right that a Spooky Fall set is released in January. It's like when they did a double feature. Came out in January, it just feels kind of lost. Just something else to shove out there and reprint. And, this is why Hasbro, Watsy, whatever, this is why they're getting sued for too much product and abusing their product line and overprinting and downgraded by Bank of America. But that's a whole other discussion. Let's just go ahead and get right into the list and some cards that I think should have been added. So first off, we have, okay, this is a fun one. Darkest Hour. All creatures are black. So this card, it was reprinted, I think it's 7th edition. Came out in Urza's Saga, Destiny. One of the Urza sets. All creatures are black. Now, I just feel like thematically this would have made sense to throw into Innistrad Remaster. Maybe it was like an uncommon or something and downshift it. There's not really much removal anymore that says destroy target non-black creature. I can't even think of any Innistrad cards that care about specifically only black creatures. But I just feel like this would have been an interesting ad. I do wonder if Wizards is gonna maybe, why they back. I feel like they might be backing away from this card just because of some racial connotations. People tend to. I've seen thrown around at some dank corners of the internet. But I think it just would have been a fun, interesting card. I love the flavor text. Yawgmoth spent eons wrapping Phyrexians in human skin. They are sleeper agents and they are everywhere. Sancho to Urza. So I just think this would have been cool. I love the old fashioned art. They could have done with a cool like Gavany or one of the Innistrad towns themed version of this Darkest Hour. I don't know what this would do in a limited sealed environment. Really nothing. It'd probably be a waste of an enchantment. But nonetheless, it would have been fun to see, and thematically, I think would have made sense. Next on the list, okay, we got yet another moon. We've got Blood Moon. We all know what this does. I'm not even going to read it. Non-basic lands, mountains. I read it anyway. The original printing was the dark, one of the four horsemen. It's been reprinted in master sets, what was it, 6th, 7th editions, whatever. It's been reprinted a lot, and it still holds value, still holds the water in the value train. I feel like this would have made sense because Emrakul is bound to the moon, and the moon controls the tides. The water and the tides are a thing on Innistrad, and the horrors in the ocean, and the moon and werewolves. I think this would have been a fun, interesting ad. It would be a bit of a shitty thing to do, quite honestly, because Innistrad, they reprinted the land cycle from Midnight Hunt and Crimson Vow, the check lands, enter the battlefield tapped, unless, or so on and so forth. I can't even think of what any of those are called off the top of my head. But you get my point. So your opponent has their mana set, then you go ahead and play this, turning everything into mountains, which it'd be funny and interesting. And this would be another avenue to reprint Blood Moon yet again. But I kind of see why they do it. This came from my comment section in a prior video. I don't have the commenter in front of me, but whoever you are, thank you for that shout out. I appreciate it. So honorable mention. I think this would have been fun to see. Okay, this one here, it was originally printed in Eldritch Moon, and there's a couple fun facts about this card. For one, this is the only flip werewolf in Eldritch Moon that flips back to its human side, or its other side. All the other werewolves in Eldritch Moon flip into Eldrazi's and don't flip back. Ulrich, keeps his human form. He can be flipped back with the non-eroded clause, beginning of your upkeep, if no spells were cast this turn. And then the other side, 2 or more spells were cast, you transform it. And also, I did a separate video about how Wizards failed to retcon the old werewolves to match the day-night mechanic because somebody quit the company. The person who was doing that project to do that retcon left the company, so the new person came on and thought it was dumb, so they just stopped, which is stupid and irresponsible. But anyway, so Ulrich, also another fun fact. So it's the only werewolf from the Eldritch Moon cycle that flips back. The also fun fact, This card was never reprinted. It only came out in Eldritch Moon. It was has never seen another print. Weird thing is there's an uncommon called Ulrich's Puppy or something. It's a red werewolf uncommon that got reprinted, but Ulrich himself did not get a reprint in Innistrad Remaster. Every single Magic set seems to have a hard-on for Commander, being shoving Commander cards into Master sets, reprint sets, standard sets even. So it's kind of strange this wasn't reprinted to go with that. Again, just to get additional, because there's a joke with Magic the Gathering, if Phyrexia all be one, Magic the Gathering all will be reprinted. And this guy is somehow immune. I don't know why. I think he's still worth a couple bucks in the secondary market. It would have been cool to see a comeback, but not a big deal either way. But I just feel like this one they at least should have done. And one other one on my list here, Werewolf Pack Leader, 2 mana, 3/3, pretty powerful card. When it attacks, if you attacked with creatures with power 6 or greater, this combat, draw a card. Till end of turn, has base power and toughness, 5/3, gains trample, and isn't inhuman. So this would have been an interesting take on the werewolf mechanic. Instead of being a flip card, it just turns into a wolf. It just becomes a straight werewolf. It's the only werewolf. There are other werewolves pre the flip cards that were in Magic's history, that because the flip mechanic didn't exist back then. But the flip mechanic did exist here, but there were no flip mechanics in the Adventures in Forgotten Realms Dungeons and Dragons set. So I can get why they didn't have one flip card. It wouldn't have made sense. They built it into the card. I think this would have been an interesting avenue to reprint this card. It thematically fits. It turns into a werewolf. It works well with other big creatures. Be a perfect, great card to get in a constructed or draft, limited environment. And it's a pretty powerful add to werewolf builds. Let me know what you think. And one more here. It's funny enough. It's actually another moon. It's Bad Moon. All black creatures get +1/1. So Bad Moon means look at the face on the moon. This would have been perfect given the moon situation again on Eldritch Moon. There's actually a set called Eldritch Moon, and then the what's it called, Magic Lexicon, but they don't seem to really think things through. So yeah, all black creatures get +1. It would certainly be interesting with the Darkest Hour I showed earlier, if they reprinted Darkest Hour and then this. So if you pair these two together, basically all creatures get +1/1. And so with Emrakul tied to the moon on Innistrad, I just feel like this would have worked because the Bad Moon transforms werewolves. A Bad Moon, maybe the vampires like it too. I don't know. And again, just the moon has a lot of significance on Innistrad. Anyway, that's it. That's that. These are some cards I feel like Wizards missed the mark. Should have reprinted. I get why they didn't reprint some of them, but the one that I feel like was the big fail here is Ulrich, because again, werewolf never been reprinted. They're reprinting the crap out of everything for some reason. This guy is immune. I don't understand some of the decision making that goes on there. Anyway, are there any cards you felt like should have been included in Innistrad Remastered that were missed? Are there certain cards getting reprinted that you look forward to having? Are you going to be picking up some Innistrad Remastered when it releases this weekend? I have been hearing that LGSs can't even get their hands on it, or it's really hard to come by. But there's probably some FOMO that's going to happen, but it's gonna be on shelves and available. Again, all reprints. We're really not that far removed from Midnight Hunt and Crimson Vow being standard sets. So a lot of these cards are still readily and regularly available, around. I'll leave it there. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please hit the like button. It helps the video, helps the channel, helps me, help you. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. I will catch you next time. Thanks, everyone.